media body of IIT Kharagpur. But that sentence doesn't do well to summarize what exactly we do. So here we are, we bring you the inter seminar to the Scholars Avenue. So grab some snacks and sit back while we give you an introduction to what we are and what we really do. So coming to your expectations of what campus life would be like, you definitely have some hopes of maybe a high CGPA or a great placement. You might have some expectations from what KGP would bring you. But more often than not, the reality associated to it is not all that fantastic. So here we are to give you a gist of several such things which sound good when they're said to you, but in reality are not really that amazing. So Kharagpur, what is it? Where is it? You probably never even heard of it before you started preparing for JEE. Well, this is what you get when you Google IIT Kharagpur. But the real image is more like this. It's a very humid place. It rains whenever the weather feels like it. And for almost all the time, except for the winters, you're going to be sweating profusely getting from here to there. And you're just going to be cursing the weather almost constantly. Classes, right? You probably expect a big blackboard like in the image with one very experienced professor giving you um, who is distributing his experience with all of y'all, and the students also sitting and listening attentively, probably taking notes. Not really. Not really.
Even in online mode as well, you in your first week you must have had the idea that you'll sit attentively in front of your laptop with your notebook and a pen, but I guess some things don't change. I'm sure you all must have got that hang of this by now, and you must have been having stressed out naps, checking out your cameras every now and then.
Diwali, right? A standard Indian festival which is celebrated in almost all households. You'd think it'll be pretty much similar in campus as well. But no, we have a very beautiful festival which is called Illu, where we lay out the years in patterns on wooden sheets. It's an inter-hall competition where all halls strive to win the cup, and it's a part of the general championship. And all halls sit together for months on end preparing these designs, and on the final day when it does come to fruition, it looks very beautiful. Again, okay, the second years also do not know what this looks like, so Maulik probably doesn't even relate to this.
Yeah, now we all in our JE days had this glorified idea how cool engineering is, but it involves a lot less of this and a lot of this. Yeah, pretty underwhelming, right? The other thing is that if you are from physics semester, you will relate to this. The curriculum, in these unprecedented times, the curriculum has to be altered slightly, and we understand it. But the institute had this brilliant idea of conducting this class online, where you theoretically learn how to run a machine. This class makes perfect sense, perfect sense.
Helipad, right? Any sane human being would probably imagine this when you hear that IIT Kharagpur has a helipad. Well, no, it's just a glorified edge in the middle of nowhere where you go, where the road to that place is also not that great. It's just an edge. When I rode there, I expected to see a control tower of some sort, but no, just an edge. The Springfest Salsa workshop, this is exactly what it says during Springfest in late January usually. There is a salsa workshop which they conduct where couples learn to do salsa. And this is very standard image of what you'd expect. But if you look at it through Maulik's lens, this is how it actually looks like. Yeah, true story.
uh, Now if you enter your college after working your ass off, like you all must have, you would have certain expectations of not being lonely, so as to say. Wait till the 1:9 ratio hits you in the face.
So is the case with examinations, right? You guys, cream of the nation. Yeah, of course, you guys study for 10 to 14 hours a day. Examinations would be a breeze, right? Nah, nah.
Now, most of us dream about being placed in big companies with big names like Google or Amazon or Facebook. Yeah, even ITs have mass recruitments.
Yeah, nightlife, right? For the lively bunch of y'all, you guys probably expect IIT Kharagpur to have a wonderful nightlife with parties going on here and there, as in other high schools, which you probably see in teen dramas. Well, the reality is more of whatever this is. Yeah, just a lemon in your mouth and slowly falling back.
Now, when you think about alumni of a big institution like uh, IIT Kharagpur, this is the first face which comes to your mind. But more often than not, we also have this.
Okay, yeah, TSA meetings. You probably think we are a serious bunch who has one person at the helm leading a very serious agenda, and the meetings are more often than not just very productive. Nah, nah, not really. We just have fun, man. We just have fun. And with that, I'm gonna hand over to Shravya, who's gonna tell you about our mission statement and more importantly, what TSA is not.
Hello everyone, I'm Shravya. I'm an undergrad from the Department of Electronics and Electrical Communication Engineering. I'm a reporter here at TSA. So, what is TSA? Or more importantly, what TSA isn't? Well, TSA is not total surface area. TSA is not touching stuff aggressively. TSA is not the Federal Agency of Transport Security Administration. Well, the first Google search that pops up when you type TSA in your search bar. TSA is not Technology Scholars Avenue, as most of you must be assuming so, but TSA is the Scholars Avenue. We are a campus media body at IIT KGP. Well, there is another Scholars Avenue in the campus, a street in the campus, which we assure you has been named in our honor. At TSA, we have lofty goals. We strive for world peace, food and water security, political freedom and political stability, access to education, government accountability and transparency, poverty alleviation, sustainable development via timely dissemination of news, satire, and comics on campus. All right, I'll be handing it over to Pratham, who's going to tell you guys more about the history of TSA.
Hello everyone. So the Scholars Avenue was established in 2005 by Amit Gupta, Puneet Agarwal and Sandeep Rath. The first print issue came out after a month of planning and deliberation and was riddled with grammatical errors and lacked paper quality. The second issue was printed on the momentous day of 18th August 2005, which is the foundation day of IIT Kharagpur. It was a much better It was on a much better print and paper quality. It was the crowning glory of their efforts, mentioned the founders of IIT Kharagpur. Now, moving next to the mission of TSA, which is basically to report any out of track events and any out of the path news in IIT Kharagpur, and to make the roller coaster ride within and outside KGP a memory to cherish. Next slide. Now moving to October 21st, 2009, when chaos brewed over a TSS article on a strike and the hospital of BC Roy. TSS article on painting the campus red seemed to incite Maoist sentiments, and the institute responded like the North Korean secret police, wherein copies were taken down from the notice board and so were the blog posts. The deans and the director now laid TSA two options in front of us. We were to either stay under Gymkhana with censorship, or we had to fund ourselves, in which case we could have been uncensored and had nothing to do with the institute. As as you have probably come to know, TSA had chosen the second option, and we are independent of the Gymkhana as of now. The Scholars Avenue Road, which runs from the BC Roy Hall to the BC Roy Hospital, is as already mentioned by Shravya. A highbrow once mentioned Scholars Avenue ends at BC Roy, but no, the Scholars Avenue actually started at BC Roy. Next slide, what's up? So Sunny Somani in 2007 resurrected the TSA after a meet with the director and the dean, and now we are back on track as an independent campus media body of IIT Kharagpur. Now I would like to hand it over to Gauri to explain what TSA does.
So, hi, I'm Gauri and I'm a third year undergraduate. I'm a editor here at the Scholars Avenue. So, since you've all heard about how we came into existence, I'll talk to you about what we do and what you'd be expected to do should you choose to become a part of the Scholars Avenue. So, at the core, we are a media body and we have an opinion and report about anything and everything that happens on campus. So, reporting, we report campus events like general championships, open IITs, and then we also put out editorials and critiques about major events on campus like elections or fee reduction issues or mental health facilities on campus. And we have something unconventional called a garlic. We haven't put any examples here because I suggest that you check out our website. What the garlic is basically a very funny take on the events that happen. How we write the garlic is basically out of frustration. We just get together and rant about something we are frustrated about the events on campus. Yeah, next slide. Next. Yeah. Yeah, so this is about the literary stuff that we do. But if you choose to be a part of the Scholars Avenue, the work you do won't just be restricted to literary stuff. You can also explore other aspects. Like we have something called graph theories, which are basically a fun portrayal of a few activities. How we come up with this is we just have a look at the activities on campus and then try to figure out any general trends. And to do the graph theories, you don't have to be very skilled in Photoshop or something. You can be a part of the team and we'll all like have fun and we learn it on the go. So this is just an example of it, and to like have a look at what graph theories we put out, you can check out our Facebook page. Yeah, next slide. Right. So one perk of being a part of the campus media body is you get to interview many famous personalities. Like here it's Sienna Rao and Shujit Sarkar and Nawazdan Siddiqui. So you get to be talk to them upfront and in person, and you get to like interview them personally, which is which is something really fun and useful as well. So yeah, next slide. Right. So, an extension of the interviews we do is podcasts. So, podcasts are basically audio interviews where our interviews are not just restricted to interviewing famous people. We also talk to people on campus who have sort of explored different avenues. Like, for instance, for one of our podcasts, we got in touch with a few people who had cracked the Google Summer of Code, and then we talked to them about their journey in open source, how they got started with coding, and basically any tips they have. And our interviews are not just restricted to formal interviews. We also have informal conversations where we just have fun getting to know people and talking to each other. Yeah, next slide. Right. So this is all the basically you can also like try out video journalism, and yeah, we don't just put out like formal videos. We have very informal videos. You can check out our YouTube channel. So one video we did a few years ago was basically unconventional ways to use a graduation scarf, and you can also check out our YouTube channel. So the point of showing all this was to show that if you're a part of the Scholars Avenue, you don't just have to be restricted to literary stuff. You can explore Photoshop, you can explore your video editing skills and your video making skills, and basically we'll have a lot of fun doing all this stuff together. So yeah, next I hand it over to Vaishnav, who will be talking about other avenues we explore.
Hey guys, I'm Vaishnav. I will be continuing from here on. So another important aspect that we do is the careerpedias. So that include internpedia, TNpedia, researchpedia, and corporate off-campus corporate internpedia. So most of you might not be like aware of what internship is. Internship is a peer is actually a short period, usually 2 3 months, in which you work with a company, find about the culture, find about the work you'll do, and finally figure out if you like working in that field or not. So for a compulsory internship, which is supposed to do in pre-final summer vacation, a lot of companies come to the campus. And Internpedia is a company-wide guide in which we cover like what is the process for a particular company. So in the slide shown, you can see Google. Like we have mentioned what department it opens to, what is the CG code of the company, and like what is the actual selection process, and what type of questions are asked in the company's interview. CNS also gives some relevant fundas in the for relevant company. Intermedia is a collection of approx 100 plus companies, and you can check it out on our Facebook page, and you will get it there. We also have a off-campus internpedia. Like a lot of companies don't come directly through CDC, so people apply from like externally. That we have covered in off-campus corporate internpedia, and a lot of people apply for research projects uh, like over the world, and that is covered in researchpedia. If you guys are interested in to know more about it, do check out our page. You'll find it there. Now, Soumya will continue.
Hey, I'm Soumya, a third year and graduate here. I'm an editor at the Scholars Avenue. So, like, we do a bunch of fun and serious surveys as well. One of the surveys done was a happiness survey where we asked people how happy they were on campus and matched them up with their department and societies to check out fun and insightful trends. This slide shows how happy people were with their social life and department they were in, clearly showing a very interesting trend. Though I sincerely hope you all are happy with your departments. Next slide, please. Right. This shows the happiness index versus the society the person is in. Obviously, the people here at TSA are the happiest. If you want to check out the detailed survey, this should be the first result on Google. Just search the happiness survey at IIT KGP. Next slide, please.
Yeah, as Soumya mentioned, we also do serious surveys. So this is part of recent survey that we conducted. It's about how effective the online sim is that you guys are going through. Admittedly, it's way more hectic than offline sim that we had like on campus or you would have had. So what we did was we asked few people like what issues they are facing, and we then compiled it. Also gave our solutions from our end and sent it to administration to consider like everyone's problem. Next slide, please.
Yeah. So our page has a great reach, and due to this, one of our pieces, no, seriously, that's what she said, was picked up by the national media. It is one of the great advantages of being in TSA that we turn people's attention to things which are seldom talked about. This article is a great piece of writing, and I encourage you all to please have a read. Go to our webpage, find the article, and please read it. Next slide, please.
So finally, we also use our reach to good work, do good work. So in our like first year in 2019, when there was a pandemic at the start, like many daily wage workers in Kharagpur were struggling for their like daily routines, or like they didn't had any kind of money. So what we did was we started a fundraiser. We did crowdsourcing and asked people to support the daily wage workers in the campus. We got good amount of money. We then circulated with them, and it was also appreciated. Our effort was also appreciated by Pan IIT USA Alumni Foundation, which was a really good thing for us. So overall, on wide spectrum, that's what all we do, right from literally aptitude to working with Photoshop, video editing, and so on. Frankly speaking, we were also not the skilled when we joined TSA, but we got to learn from each other, and that's what we do actually, and we have fun while doing them. So if any of this interests you and you want to be around fun people, do turn up for interviews and see if this suits you.
Yeah, so one of the great points about TSA is that we follow a flat hierarchy. Now, TSA is among very few societies that follow this methodology. What this essentially means is that all the members are on a same level, and you, being a junior, does not affect your say in any decision that the group makes. You can choose your own projects, you can work with anyone you like, you can write articles. Like Gauri said, you can write articles, you can do podcasts, you can make videos, you can even, if you check out the happiness survey, you can find out that we even have interactive web servers that were made, so you can even work on that. The most wonderful part about TSA is that the interactions that we have with our seniors, it is very informal, and it is one of the best aspects of being here with our group. This informal interaction is what makes this group a very tight knit group. So I invite you all to please turn up for our selections, and we'll have a fun session then. Next time.
But so
Okay.
we'll be continuing from here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hi guys again, and okay, this is another point which is part of being, which is a part of the experience of being a member of the Scholars Avenue, is that you get to work with media bodies of other educational institutes like Harvard, which is the Harvard Crimson, like of IIT Bombay, which is Insight, and of IIT Madras, which is the Fifth Estate, and we gain a lot when we interact with them. We know get to know the culture of those colleges, and it's something you wouldn't otherwise get if you're if you're not part of a media body which interacts with other institutes. So moving on, we now have a few videos sent by our alumni which I think you're going to enjoy.
What's all audio?
It's not audible. Okay, one sec, I'll reshare.
Campus to work with the best people and to do work that has real impact, on campus. So if you want to find yourself affecting and changing lives of people around you, Scholzab is the place to be.
Oh, I think the best part about Scholars App is that whatever you want to do, you can do it using Scholars Avenue. Anything at all, anything. If you want to write an article about the best anime your friends should watch, you can do that. Or you can break new ground and write an article about all the dermatological ailments that your friends are going to face in the next 4 years. It's a very humid place, guys. But anyway, you can do anything, is what I want to say. Anything at all. Just like I can do anything, and I'm gonna fly right now. Because of Skulls app, I'm gonna fly. Let's go, guys. Hey guys, my name's Vaishnav. I was in aerospace engineering at GB Hall, Pune. And I was a part of TSA for 3 years. But first things first, I just graduated. I got my degree 10 days ago. So to confer the title of alumnus feels like a little like these guys are trying to distance themselves. I'm kidding. The people you see here are some of the finest people I've had the chance to meet in my 5 years at Kharagpur. TSA was an integral part of my stay at Kharagpur, primarily because it was a social circle that I carved for myself. You don't get to choose your department mates or your hall mates, but you do get to choose which society you get to associate yourself with in your early years. And in hindsight, joining TSA was one of the few good decisions I made in my 5 years. Uh, as these guys must have told you, Skolzav came together over a decade ago, formed by people who wish to cater to the news market of the campus and capture the pulse of the student populace. And while there's no doubt that the team has altered its direction dramatically over the past 10 years, I'm glad to say that there are large chunks or remnants of ambitious student journalism that still thrive in spirit. I hope the freshers issue these guys have put out make you want to be a part of the team, and I hope that the rest of the alumni who have moved on to incredibly better places in life incentivize you to contribute to the campus and distinguish yourselves from the rest of the world.
Hello,
Scholars
hello,
Avenue.
peoples. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so Siddharth, what is your first call serve assignment? Don't
I
like
remember
scram.
my first call serve assignment. You should too.
Yo,
We should do this interview style.
don't.
We should do this interview style.
Don't be Don't be so awkward. Dude. Just like we were.
Okay. This is not working out.
We'll have to clip it, kya? हाँ.
I remember my first call serve assignment.
Oh my God.
Wait, let's try again. I remember my first.
You're really not gonna go ahead of that, huh? Like, oh my God.
Dude, it's not very interesting.
But like,
I went to.
okay, show print issues at least. Like, do something, dude. Hey, bachas, we had print issues apparently.
This was what the scholars used to look like.
Print issues looks
When we were actually printing stuff.
This is who used to sponsor us.
This guy right here.
Yeah. You can see they paid us a lot of money.
We're still sponsoring them. Okay, so, what do we have here?
Yeah, let's go through a few articles. I think that makes some sense.
A dramatic reading.
Oh, butter. I should do that. Yeah, do this one.
Oh yeah, the coconut thing, dude. That is the thing. Dramatic reading of skulls.
If the Beatles were to fancy uttapams, when I find myself on coconut tree, Mariamma comes to me, telling me, drink toddy, let it be. And in my finest lungi, I book ticket to Dubai City, wanting to make the money, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Iron out my lungi. Speaking words of Mammootty, let it be. That's all.
Yeah, we hope you have.
That's the standard you have to live up
We
to.
hope you have better content than this.
Yeah, so guys, these are the reporters at the Scholars Avenue. We have Ashutosh, who's into dramatics. We have Nikita, who's very into critical book reviews. We have Malvika, who's an overall tech boomer. We have Maulik, who does a spot on Arnab Goswami impression. We have Saloni, who's into sustainability. Ashish, who's into computer science. Jayati, who is overall meme material. Agniba, who's a chess grandmaster. And Eliza, who's probably the most famous second year you'll ever come across. So if you want to be a part of this team, fresh selections are being held on the 15th and 16th of January. So stay tuned to our page, follow us on Facebook, on Instagram. We'll post out updates soon. So yeah, that concludes the intro. Thank you guys for coming. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. We'll answer them right now. Anyone? Any questions? All right, then I guess that concludes it. Thank you guys for coming. Bye bye.